Yeah, good day everyone. Welcome to Simple Codes with Aziz. In this tutorial, we are going to be walking ourselves through the Laravel web framework. So as we can see on our screen, Laravel is a web application framework with expressive, elegant syntax. So now this framework is built under PHP, which stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. So now PHP is a server-side scripting language. So, and for us to follow up with this tutorial, we have to have basic understanding of the concept of PHP, so which will make things very much easier for us. So, and we should note that the Laravel framework also work with the MVC approach. So, and trust me, it's going to be very interesting uh coding Laravel with me. So now the first thing to get started about Laravel is that you have to download a local server. In this tutorial, I'm going to be recommending XAMPP for us so that we can kick everything rolling. So now the first thing is you download XAMPP. Just go to Google and type XAMPP. So now XAMPP now. So once you go to their sites, it's a free application, doesn't need any subscription. So open their website, then click on download. So once you have downloaded this XAMPP, so this XAMPP will have a lot of things that will come with it. So MySQL will be installed alongside the XAMPP. It is going to install the latest version of PHP for you. So you don't have to go and download another external PHP file. So now the next thing that we'll also be needing is a package manager called the Composer. So we need to download Composer. The second thing is to download Composer from getcomposer.org website. So now once we just get there, so we click on download. In my own case, I have already downloaded Composer and I've already installed the XAMPP server on my laptop. So now the next thing is to download a code editor. So in my own case, I'll be using VS Code. So I have this installed already too. In your own case, you might be using another code editor to code, just like Notepad or other form of code editors. So in my own case, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. So now, what do we need to do next? Is so what we're doing next is that we'll be going to our local files here, come to this PC. So now we need to, because we need to set up our environmental variable so that whenever we come to the command prompt, so and we type composer v composer version is going to bring every details about our composer. So because we want our command prompt to be able to see the PHP and the composer. So now what we'll do is that we'll come to this XAMPP folder here under our local disk. So XAMPP. So now we'll come under the PHP installed folder. So this PHP here. So now the only thing we need to do is that we'll just come here and copy the address. Look at the address bar here. So we'll copy it now. So the next thing that we are going to be doing is that we'll now go to our window environment variable. We just type environment variable, environment variables. So we'll click on edit the system environment variables. So under it, we'll see environment variables. So here now, under system variables now, we'll now go to paths. We'll just click on paths, then we'll click on edit. So now what we will now do is that we are going to create a new, we are going to create new. So once I come here, then I'll paste it. If you look among the variables that I already have, you can see that I already have XAMPP/PHP, so there is no need for me to save it again. So let me just click on cancel here. But in your own case, make sure you save it so that whenever you go through your command prompt and type PHP, so the system can actually understand what you are doing. So now after setting up the environment variable, what we need to do next is that for us to actually install Laravel, we'll be making use of the composer, right? Which is the package manager. So now, what is advisable is that most of these files that will be installed alongside Laravel, most of them are zip files. So now, if we don't want to stress ourselves concerning that, there is a zip file uh, extractor that comes with PHP. So now, once we open our XAMPP that we have downloaded, once we open our XAMPP, so under Apache, we'll see config. There's config there. Then we'll go to php.ini. So once we open this, make sure you don't delete anything because this file is very, very essential. So now what we are going to be doing here is that we are going to search for zip, ZIP. The zip extension, at first, it will be commented just like this. Let me comment it back. Let me comment it back. So now this under Apache, so this termination sign means that it has been commented out. So this is by default. But now I will have to remove that semicolon at the front, then I'll save it. So once I save it, then I'll just close it now. So we are now done with the first phase, uh, where we are going to set up the files that we are going to be needing. So then we will now move ahead and install our Laravel application. So now, for us to install our first Laravel application, so we are going to come to our command prompt. So we open a command prompt. So now, as you can see, I'm in my directory on my PC. So now what is going to happen is that we need to check for PHP and we need to check if Composer has actually been configured to be recognized by our system. So now let's see the version of Composer that we actually have installed. So we just type Composer, then /v. So this is going to give us details about the Composer. You can see the Composer version is 2.8.4. So now the next thing is to check if PHP has actually been installed, because for us to use Composer to install the Laravel framework, we are going to be needing PHP too. So now if I just type PHP version, we can see that I have PHP version 8.2.12 installed on my PC. So now this means that we have actually finished setting up the preliminaries to install our Laravel framework. And we don't have any issues. If you are not seeing this, it means that you have not properly set up your environment variables very well. So now you can watch the video again so that you can get it very well. So now the first thing is we are going to create a folder in our desktop so that we can actually put the application that we are about to build. So now let me cd to the desktop, then let me make a folder. I'm going to be using the mkdir to create a tutorial. So then I'm going to be cding inside the tutorial folder. So now let's move to our desktop. So this is the folder that I've actually created here, the tutorial. So if I open it, you can see that there is nothing that is inside the folder. So now in this folder, this is where I'm going to be creating my Laravel application. So now what will I do next is that I'm going to be invoking the composer. I'm going to be saying create project Laravel slash Laravel. So let's just name this application. Let's just name it first or anything cool. Let's say my Laravel. My Laravel. So this is the what's it called? This is the normal way you are going to create your first Laravel application. So you're going to say composer create project Laravel slash Laravel, and this last this last name here means the name of your application that you are about to create. So I'm going to be pressing enter. So as you can see, it's saying that creating a Laravel slash Laravel project. Then the project name is my Laravel, and the installation of Laravel doesn't take time. So it's getting everything ready for us now. So let me just pause the video for the application to be installed. So now you are welcome back. So our Laravel application has been fully installed. So now when we go to the folder that we created earlier on our desktop, we can see that that's created in my Laravel projects. We can see that it has created couples of files and folders for us. So these are the folders and files that we are going to actually be working with. So there are lots of other things for us to do here. So now I'm going to be seeding inside my Laravel application. I'm going to be seeding. So the next thing for me is to next thing for me is to run the migrations. So I'm going to be starting by saying PHP artisan migrate. So it has already even migrated for me. So as you can see, it's saying nothing to migrate. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to run another command. I'm going to be typing PHP artisan key generate. So as you can see, application key has successfully been set because you need to generate an application key which will be useful inside the environment folder.env folder. So, but don't worry, once we go ahead in this tutorial series, so we are going to understand more about this command that I am running. Don't panic. This is going to be very, very interesting. So now the next thing is to start the server. For us to start the server, we should make sure that we have the Apache, it is running. We start it, then the MySQL server is also running. So we start the second one. So this two is what we are going to be needing. So now I'm going to be typing PHP artisan, then serve. This is the command that you will be using to start the application server. So I'm going to be clicking on enter. So now you can see that there's actually started the server, saying that press Ctrl C to stop the server. So which means that the server is on. So now we are going to be heading to our browser to view what is going to happen. So now I'm going to open my Chrome browser, then type 127.0.0.1:8000. So once I click this, as you can see, uh, it's saying that it means our Laravel application has been successfully installed. So if we want to go ahead and read more about documentation, so we can go ahead, then news about Laravel. So this is the default welcome page for the Laravel application. So in next tutorial series, so we are going to be actually writing the code, explaining the things that are behind the codes that will be writing, and probably will be developing some few applications during our tutorial series. So just stay focused. Just make sure that you're following us on the YouTube channel, and there are lots of things that you are going to gain. And before the end of this tutorial series, you will be proficient in the Laravel web development framework. So thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. See you in the next